Margaret, do you know the last place we saw each other?
Well, I think it was the Laugh Factory.
Oscars.
No,
Much more glamorous, the Oscars
wait,
last year.
And we were at Georgia.
Yes, right.
Oh, yes, I covered
right.
the Oscars
and we
last
weren't
year.
nominated.
No, unfortunately. And I thought you were robbed.
Thanks.
And I feel like we had such a good time. We bonded there. We did the electric slide.
Yeah.
We did a little bit of the snake, just a little bit, just a hint of it. I remember
you were covering it for...
I was covering it for MTV, and Denzel Washington was so annoyed with me that he made me go in the back and wash dishes.
Wow. Wow. I tell you, I'd never make you do that.
I was happy to though, because
really?
Yeah, he was really like sweet about it and really nice. I just
only Denzel can get away with that.
I know.
Because he's like sex symbol guy.
He's so fine that it doesn't matter. I mean, he has virtuosity.
Okay,
you know?
moving on. At any rate, no, but you're from San Francisco?
Yes, originally.
I love that town. My brother lives there.
It's a great city.
So you grew up there and all that
Yes,
stuff?
I did. And my brother lives there too, actually. And he and I don't get along because when we were kids, he did something to me that I will never forgive him for. He took a big duty in my goldfish bowl, and ever since then, like when I look at him, I don't see him. I just see a big log just floating, and a goldfish standing on it like a lumberjack. Am I in therapy or is this TV?
Let it out, honey.
I'm sorry.
Let it out.
The Prozac is working. It's
You know, my dad lived in San Francisco during the 60s, and he would bring us out and show us like where all the hippies were and stuff. So I heard like you hang out in Haight-Ashbury in the 80s?
Yes, where it was not like there were no, it wasn't.
They're just geriatric hippies, like really, really old hippies.
No,
right?
well, that was like they were like the that was the period of the goth. You know, and people would have black nail polish and like white skin, and the Cure was really happening there, and everybody had bangs that like went like that, you know, and you couldn't see, and everybody was going like that with their hair all the time, and a lot of, you know, the taffy dance, you know, the 80s taffy dance that they do, and so, you know,
what were you into? Like, I guess a lot of people don't know that you studied acting, right, in high school?
I was an actress. I went to high school performing arts, which was like really like leg warmers, like, you know, this is how much fame costs if you start paying in sweat.
Did you guys dance like this?
Yeah, and we were always dancing on the table in the cafeteria, and you know, it was just very, very like fame. You know,
but did you ever think you were going to do and wind up doing stand-up?
No, actually, you know, I never really thought of it, and then it happened to be that my parents owned a bookstore in San Francisco, and there was a comedy club above it. And so I was just, you know, during my break, I would go and check it out and see what was going on.
Margaret, wait a minute. This is like a Hollywood story.
No,
they
seriously.
owned a bookstore with a comedy club upstairs? Come on.
And no, it had nothing to do with the, you know, store. I mean, it was just like this bar that had comedy, and I went up there, and I would, you know, kind of go, this is cool, and then I started performing and hanging out. And
were you still in high school when you were doing that?
Yes.
So what would you talk about? I mean,
homework. Boys.
That's funny.
And you know, I just I didn't really have an act. You know, I just kind of improv'd and riffed and kind of got it going, and it was fun.
Wow. Did you ever think that that would be like your gateway to fame? That
No. I just thought that it was like a really good way to like not have to talk to my parents during my break. You know, because if you work for your parents, it's just like a drag, and you know, it's like when you're on your break, you don't want to hang out with them. So it was just a way to escape.
So did you ever let them see your stand-up act?
No, they never have till this day. To this day, they have never.
My mother hasn't either.
Really? I would be so scared to perform. I could perform for like anybody. I mean, I performed for
I could
just
perform
about
sexually in front of my mother, but not stand-up. Is that wacky?
I think that's worse than my duty story.
I think so. What's the worst thing that you hate about the road?
You know what I hate? I think everything. I mean, I love performing. I just hate being on planes. You know, I'm a panicker, so if there's turbulence on a plane, I'm like looking in my purse for food that I'm gonna have to hide from the other survivors. You know, like I'm just totally convinced that I'm gonna have to eat the person next to me. I'm just like freaked out the whole time I'm there.
How many times have you been in a southern like comedy club and the guy with the cowboy hat says, "I'm gonna make you my woman tonight, man"?
I know, it's like really scary. Or, you know, when I go to places where there are very few Asians, I really am uncomfortable, so I go out and I seek out my people. I get my dowsing rod out, and I find them wherever they may be, the Chinese restaurant, the laundry, Computers Plus, wherever. And I seek them out because I know that I can't do it alone, and I need that community.
Wow. So, your big break was on the Bob Hope special?
Yes. Yes, it was. And it was really an amazing experience. It was on NBC, and we went to Bob Hope's house, and not to say, I'm not saying anything about him, but like,
watch it, baby.
No, I know. But he has a really great house. It's really gorgeous. But we were there for like 8 hours, and like he didn't even give us any water or anything. It was like really weird. Like I don't know.
That's why he's big in the business.
It was just, he's not a very good host in the sense that if you go to his house, you don't get anything. Yeah. You don't get anything. I mean, we didn't get water, no bagels, nothing.
I think Bob is fabulous.
He is fabulous. He is, you know, a showbiz legend. Bad
Have you ever
host.
seen his cue cards? Literally, his letters are this big.
Oh, huge, gigantic. Yeah. But, you know, it's incredible how well he did. You know, like he did sets. I mean, he was performing, and he was
100.
like, I know. And
he owned slaves.
Exactly.
He's that old. He performed on the Mayflower.
Yeah, he was comic. He was middling then.
Oh.
No, but he's a show business legend, you know, and he's not a very good. We won't give you any water.
Let me ask you. So when you first started stand-up, did you have like any idols, like any women in the business that you looked up to?
Oh,
and,
yeah,
you know?
Definitely. You know, the people that were on TV then, working out, Rosie O'Donnell, definitely a huge influence. Sandra Bernhard, an amazing influence. Roseanne, who I love, you know, people like that. Personally, people that were in my life at the time, you know, that I was seeing at the clubs and working with, people like Brett Butler, I adore. And
yeah, I met her when I first started.
She's great. She's so like, oh, babe, if you need anything, you know, you can always just call my room or whatever. If you need a T-shirt, sleeping, I got moisturizer and eye cream. I got it all, baby. She's so nice.
Listen, we're going to be back in a minute after this message with Margaret Cho.